Today we are in Central Asia for only the second World Cup ever held in Uzbekistan. We're in Samarkand. It's the third largest city in the country, and we've the elite men's race coming up in just a few moments' time. Here is the start list. My name's Trevor Harris, Gillian Sanders alongside me. Big field, Gillian, for this one, but none of the men who made the podium here last year have returned, so it looks wide open, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it is wide open. We've got a lot of younger athletes racing today. Athletes who are just out of the junior ranks. Reese Vannerson off the back of that debut World Cup win in Chengdu. Taylor Reid, so youth versus experience. Pretty open. I think we're in for some really exciting racing. 60-odd men on the start list.
Yeah, 60 exactly. And the winning time last year, incidentally, was just shy of an hour and 42 minutes. Although earlier with the women's race, they were considerably slower than last year, so maybe nearer 150 than 142. We will see. So away they go. Samarkand 2025 is underway. We've got a big field of 60 men, and it looks absolutely impossible to call.
Kevin Tarek swimming right on his own, almost a carbon copy of the women's race where Sakova was in pretty much exactly the same position. So Tarek on his own, and then we've got a few other little groups forming as they head out towards the first buoy. Obviously, once they hit that first buoy, it's going to become a lot more congested.
Now this is where you just have to be a bit careful. Not those at the front, it's those in behind, sort of in the middle of the field. Just about there going round, but they look like they're giving themselves enough room.
Yeah, that was Marton Kropko, so he led them round the first buoy. He's got the 34 in his swim cap, the blue swim cap, the Hungarian athlete, another one of our really young athletes, first year as a senior. So then I think that's Marcus Day sitting in third position there on Brdziak's feet, and then another of our British athletes in the green swim cap there. Kropko slicing through the water, such an efficient open water stroke.
Well, look at the gap now between the leading, I don't know, what's that, 20-odd, and the rest. There is a colossal amount of clear water between those two groups.
Yeah, you don't want to find yourself in that second group. You really want to be where those 20 athletes are that have already rounded that buoy to head back towards transition.
Kropko led pretty much the whole way from Brdziak. And there is Day of Great Britain.
And Dupour of France. Quindos of Uzbekistan. So the crowd will be going crazy with their home athletes in that group.
Kropko just had to avoid Dupuy there as he was wheeling his bike out. But the Hungarian is first into the saddle here. Let's see how close the group behind are.
Yeah, really close.
So they might be able to get on, and then we'll have probably 14 or 15, something like that, at least, actually.
These are chasers, so Chrome of Australia, Kevin Burnella just missing that group. Yes, I think we've lost our Kazakh athlete.
Yes.
Kropko, I think we've lost. And I think Samarkand is just dangling on the back there. I think you can just see him in the back of the shot there. He's just off the back of these 5 athletes trying to get himself back on. So Marcus Day leading them through. Brdziak, Kropko, Quindos and Dupour.
Yeah, taking plenty of care around that dead turn. There are the pursuers. Last we saw, what were they, about 20-odd seconds? No, it's a bit closer than that. Yeah, about 20 seconds behind. Really well controlled by this lead group since they came out of T1. Yeah, dropped a couple who couldn't stay the course, basically. And since then, they've worked pretty much seamlessly in tandem.
Yeah, you could just see Marton Kropko flicking his right elbow, asking Dupour to come through and do his turn. You can see Dupour's now rolled through. Quindos, they're having a bit of a chat to each other. Yeah, despite the looks and a bit of chat going on, it still looks like they're working efficiently together. This is our chasers. Baloo just gone through there. They're pretty spread across the road, and we can see they're also rotating through nicely. It's our second chase group. That's a group with the likes of Vannerson and Hueber-Moosbrugger, Janice Grau, probably 3 of our strongest runners in the field today, so they find themselves in that third chase group.
And it's not as if, you know, they weren't in a relatively comfortable position, the 5 of them, with about a half-minute lead. But he obviously wants more than that. Don't think he's going to get away from them, but again, you admire what's going on in his head at the moment, Kropko.
There are some strong runners in that chase group as well. Bellew, we know, really solid runner. Kevin Tarek, Ewan Denegro, the Italian. Passamar of France. Those athletes do have the ability to potentially run up to a podium. Like we said, there are some stronger runners in this chase group who have the ability to run down. And we can see actually the second chase group is just catching on to the chase group. So that's an interesting development because we know Vannerson's in there, we know Hueber-Moosbrugger's in there. There's some real strong runners in that group. Hamish Riley just sitting on the back there.
Transition looked okay, and he's come out along with the Pole, Brudziak, then Dupuis, then Day, and the Uzbek's got a problem with his shoe. What a shame. Now here are the chasers, and they actually did get some time back.
Yeah, 33 seconds, I think, is the gap.
Slightly surprised by that, but they did. So already, the 5 on the bike have been whittled down to 3 on the run in the very early stages. Kropko, Brudziak, and Dupuis are the 3.
Dupuis still sitting there in second. Brudziak still sitting in third. Kropko taking on some water. Looked like his coach on the side or support staff giving him some information.
So 6 seconds clear of Dupuis, 12 clear of Brudziak.
And
Looks
here
like he's
comes
fading.
Bellew. He's now overtaken. About to overtake. He looks like he's flying. Tis Bellew, it looks like he's flying there.
Yeah, he's only 22 still, Beaulieu.
I think he's now run himself up to around about 5th place. There's Hueber-Moosbrugger. He also looks like he's flying through the field. He's taken over Dupuis, which I think puts him into second.
Yes.
Yeah, so Hueber-Moosbrugger's flown into second. His countryman Dupuis still sitting in third.
Well, we know he loves to attack on bike and run, Hueber-Moosbrugger. Beaulieu just going past the pole. Brudziak.
It looks around about 5 seconds now.
Former European Triathlon champion, Hueber-Moosbrugger.
Here comes Bellew. He's about to move into 3rd place.
Yeah, so the Canadian potentially can smell a medal here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hueber-Moosbrugger had a much quicker transition than the Canadian athlete. So he was out of transition over 10 seconds ahead of the Canadian. So that's going to be an interesting development too. Can Bellew get up to Hueber-Moosbrugger?
So here we go. Hueber-Moosbrugger has got to Kropko at the start of this 3rd lap. And you can see the Canadian in the background there.
Canadian Mathias Bellew, he's just joined a new coaching setup. He's based in the USA now with a lot of the USA Project Podium athletes down in Arizona. So it looks like that coaching setup is working for him. He's got some really solid training partners, the likes of Reese Vannerson. I'm sure they push each other in training. And these two would have raced against each other in the junior ranks. I think the Canadian a year older than Kropko.
So Beaulieu's going to go past the Hungarian here, presumably, although Kropko's not making it easy for him.
So Dupuis has gone backwards a little bit, and Hans Manel, the junior world champion from 2022, has run himself up into 4th.
But still, almost half a minute back from Kropko.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really tough ask with 1 lap to go on the run.
Not too far to go now to cement this victory that has been made possible by a really good run.
And Kropko's coming back.
He's coming back at Bolia. So maybe he's not content with the bronze. Maybe there's a battle on potentially here for silver. Didn't see that coming. This is really courageous from the teenager. It looked all bar impossible for him to get back once Bolio had got past him and established a bit of a lead, but he's come bouncing back and now he's 10 metres ahead of the Canadian.
Yeah, he just found something extra in the tank.
Maxime Huber, look at him geeing up the crowd, Hueber-Moosbrugger. He didn't finish in Chengdu, but he's certainly going to finish here, and he's going to finish in front of everybody else. It's a gold medal for the Frenchman on the World Cup stage, and in the end, pretty comfortably. 1 hour 46 and change, and what about this? The 19-year-old Marton Kropko is going to take silver. What a display that is. And it's the Canadian who will have to settle for bronze in the end, Mathis Beaulieu. And that's the 1-2-3 in Samarkand.
Almost at a loss for words. I mean, what a fantastic comeback from Kropko.
Looks like a real find for the future, doesn't he, the Hungarian?
Thomas Hansmanel from France also running his way through to a really creditable 4th place.
So 2 Frenchmen in the top 4. Shouldn't really be too surprised about that.
Samarkand, one of our apologies, that's Antipov, one of our neutral athletes.
Grail just coming in. Nathan Grail, another Frenchman.
De Negro, the Italian athlete, in 7th.
Briziak ends up with the top 10. He kind of looked very tired, didn't he, early on the run, the pole. Big man, maybe not suited by these kind of conditions.
Debay rounding out the top 10. Depoy just missing out on a top 10 after a brave performance in that front group on the bike.
Dennis Grau coming in for 12th.
Obviously, I would prefer to be in the first park after the swim, but this is how I race. I have to race hard on the bike to catch the first park, and obviously having a very good run too, especially in tough conditions like this with the heat today. So I'm very happy after a DNF in Chengdu 2 weeks ago. To be honest, I had to pace myself because 10K on the run, especially in the heat, is very hard. So I really didn't want to go too fast at the beginning, but I was one of the first guy after the T2 from my park. So I just went for it, waited for no one, and just wanted to catch everyone. This is a long training process. I have trained with my coach, Paulo Sousa, since 2022 now. We've seen a lot of progress. I still have progress to do for sure, but I'm very happy with the progress I did the last 2 weeks and years.
I'm really happy that I could race the way I can, pushing out on the swim already, then working together in a small pack, and then just do the hardest I can on the run. And I'm really happy that I could stay on the front and not just get on the podium but get 2nd place. I don't know how can I improve in the future from this, but I think it's just the beginning of something great, and I'm really thankful to my family, my friends, my coaches, because if they don't help in all the week and all the days, I could not have done without them. So I'm really thankful for everyone. I attacked Beaulieu because I saw he was suffering. But after the attack, after 30 meters, I was in the wall. So after that, I was just doing a step after each other and hope to get close to the finish line.
That was really hard. I think I had a great swim, and I was just trying to push on the bike, but we had an unmotivated pack, so that was pretty hard, but I'm so happy. I really gave a lot on the bike on the last lap, and I had a really bad transition, but I wanted to go for the win. I gave everything, and I don't regret anything right now, even though if Kropko passed me at the end. I was really happy with my performance today.
And confirming the finishing order, Hueber-Moosbrugger in the end 15 seconds clear of Kropko, who somehow found the strength to come back and get ahead of Beaulieu after the Canadian had passed him and had seemingly left him behind. Hanspano with an excellent run in fourth, and Antipov followed home by Grael. Denigro, who we hardly saw much of, but must have run well. Brudziak was struggling out there on the run. Golobrodov and Zombadeve rounding out the top 10.
Mathis Beaulieu!
Well, you heard in his interview, he's had various injury issues over the last year or so, and absolutely delighted with his bronze here.
Kropko Marton!
Doesn't turn 20 until next month. What a race for him. So gutsy the way he came back to get past Beaulieu after the Canadian had gone past him and appeared to have left him way behind, but somehow found the strength to come back, really attacking in the water and on the bike. I really think he's the real deal.
Maxime Hueber-Moosbrugger from France.
Adding this gold to his wonderful win at the E-World Championships in London last month. Incredibly impressive run from the Frenchman that really sealed the deal.